Good morning. This is Ron Brown. It's Friday morning, the 2nd of August. We're 40 minutes into the trading day. We're having a massive sell off because of some economic news. Job numbers were not up to what they were expected to be, so we're having a massive sell off. It's been a very volatile week, and the volatility is continuing, but the move is to the downside. So anyway, I'm going to look at the market using ACSI Investor Software. I'm titling this one Sector Money Flow Ranking Module Continued. This is a continuation of what I did last week. Any stock index or ETF mentioned in this presentation is not a recommendation to buy or sell. All trading strategies are used at your own risk. You can download the software for free for 30 days. No credit card is required. Just go to highgrowthstock.com and you'll see the link to the download. Before I get into ACSI, I'm going to take a look here at Thinkorswim just to show you what kind of market we're in. You can see the Dow's down 800 points. The S&P 400's down 100 points. These are the percentages. Biggest loss in the S&P 400 right now. Bitcoin's up. It's been higher, but it's down now. You can see the VX is up 24%. As I go down here and look at the comp, you can see it's down 547, down 3.19%. Going to bring up a chart here. This one right here. It's a 5-minute chart of the comp, the NASDAQ composite, and here is the breadth. You can see that it's running extremely negative. It's around 7 to 1 negative on the NASDAQ and 5.5 negative approximately on the NYSE. So it's a very bad day. Here's the opening gap down. Had a 3-bar rally here, and then it pulled back, and now it's trying to hold this support area. Looking at the daily chart of the SPY, I'll maximize this. You can see that the 3 broke below the 6, clear back up here, and here, yesterday, we had a bounce. I said it's been volatile, and the 3 did cross the 6, but it gapped open yesterday, and then it failed again immediately. And you can see we had a very heavy volume day yesterday on the selling. Okay, so that's a macro view of the market. Let's go in and look at the micro view or what's happening within the market. And I'm using HCSI. Now I've got a little different layout on my screen today. I've been experimenting with this. This is my warehouse up here. There's the warehouse. Now I have the ranking module. I have a weekly chart here, and I have a daily chart here. Now I'm using my favorite daily prospecting scans, end of day and intraday. Most of these are intraday, but there are a few end of day in here. So this is what I'm going to be working with today while I show you how you can use this. Now I've added just a couple new ones to this. It just shows the money flow in and out with the spider ETFs. I say I put ETFs in there twice. Well, I'll fix that later. Anyway, I'm going to start here. What you have to make sure of is that you're on all securities. And then you just click on these money flow in spider ETFs. You can see zero. There's zero money flowing into these sectors. When I click on the money flow out and enlarge this, it updates. So I've got it running in the background right now, just so it's current. You can see that all 12 of these ETF sectors are down by this percentage amount. Now this was just updated, so this is current. What I want to point out is the intraday percent volume to the 90-day moving average volume. This is projected volume based upon the time of day and the current volume. This is yesterday's percent volume to the 90-day moving average volume, and it was higher than normal, and this is the intraday projection right here. So I'm going to minimize this again. I'm going to transfer this into the ranking module. I've got this set up on percentage change 1 week. You can change the information right here. It's percent change 1 week. And this just updated. Let me get rid of the quick pick here, get it out of the way. I'm going to click on the utilities. This number right here, it shows the utilities are up 3.5549 for the week. And if I double click on that, the weekly utilities chart up, if you look down here, it says 3.55, which matches this number right here. So these numbers in the ranking module build throughout the week, and this current number represents the number in the weekly chart at the moment. You can see utilities were higher today and they've pulled back. Now let's go down here. I'm going to go to the technology sector, down 5.77% for the week. The black crows are showing up right now, which is a very bearish signal. If I bring that arrow back up and point out minus 5.77, you can see that that matches what's in the weekly chart. This chart will always be current to the percent change 1 week, intraday, and end of day. Or, well, of course, it's intraday right now because the stock prices and ETF prices are updating in the background. So I'm going to get rid of that arrow and let's see here, 3.5549. I'm just going to hit my F5 key. It's going to update all the data, and let's see if that number changes from 3.5549. You can see it's updating right now. Not quite there yet. Okay, 3.4846. It hasn't gotten down to the chart yet. The chart has not updated yet. But if I have to do this. Sorry about that. Well, now I brought it up in the chart. I had to transfer from here to here, and you can see that the numbers 3.48, 3.48 match. So my point is, this is continually updated throughout the week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every trading day. Now that you know that, let's go elsewhere and let's just see where the money flow is today. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to go to the sector stocks. And there's only one industry up today, so I'm not going to sort on that. I'm going to go to 3A, which is intraday money flow in S&P sector stocks, intraday demand, and then I will do the same intraday supply down here on number 4A. Okay, so intraday money flow in demand. Oh, it's updating. Okay, so intraday demand. You can see that Apple is on top. It reported yesterday. This just updated, so you can see it's up 2.48% today and trading at 90% of its daily range, and volume is 175% above the 90-day moving average. So even on this really bad day, you can see there are some stocks up, but there are only 31 of them with money flowing in. Now for the money flowing in, these have to be at least at 50% of their daily range. That was my arbitrary cutoff point, because my thinking was if you're not in the upper part of the daily range, money is not flowing in, it's flowing out. So let's compare this to money flowing in, which is 3A. 4A is money flowing out, just the opposite. And you can see there are 378 stocks where money is flowing out. I'm going to go back to 3A, money flowing in. Click on this. These are the industries. You can see there's money flowing into REITs, healthcare supply, managed care, communication equipment. Not much. If we take this down, I'll get this out of the way. 3A, money flowing out. There are REITs, money flowing out of REITs too. I mean, this is not a precise, this is a snapshot. But the one I wanted to show you, big number on the semiconductor devices. Oil's down, exploration and production is down too. But the thing is, the contrast, the striking contrast between 378 up, or 378 down, I'm sorry, and 31 up, just shows you how weak this market is at the moment. I'm going to leave it on the money flow in and just click on Apple, bring Apple up, and then I'm going to click on the ranking module here. It's going to transfer these 31 into the ranking module. Now this is the percent change 1 week. Apple is up 2.67% for the week. If I double click on that, well, it was already done. I had already transferred. You can see that it's up 2.67 for the week on the weekly chart. Looking at this information up here in my warehouse view, yesterday volume was less than average, spread was wide, and the close was down. You can see that right over here on the daily chart. And the 3 had crossed the 6 11 days ago, as had the volume point of control. So I'll bring this up, and if you look down here at the bottom, you can see that the VPOC turned negative. I'll put the crosshair on, it's easier to see. On this day right here, on heavier volume, and that signal stayed intact. Now at this point, there was a test as traders were anticipating earnings. Yesterday on a weak market day, it was down, a shakeout, and then it came out. The earnings came out after hours, and it's moving up today. But you can see this was a very good signal on the 3 crossing the 6. The industry group was going down at the time, and Apple was actually underperforming the industry group during this period. Then it turned up, and then it was underperforming here. This is the communications group. Now I want to show you a couple other things using the ranking module, and this is just experimental, but I think it has some use and some functionality. I'm on percent change 1 week right now. I'm going to open this up. You can see velocity 6 weeks. So when I switch to velocity, it's comparing it to 6 weeks ago. I'm just going to leave this on percent change number of weeks 1 week as this updates. I'll cancel this. I'm going to change this to raw velocity and go up to the top, and it says the velocity is ResMed RMD. You can see that compared to 6 weeks ago, this velocity is up. Now I don't know how much practical use this has. I've never really figured out a precise method for using velocity, but if we compare this, well, it's probably better to use this chart here, the weekly chart. So going from here, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th week that I'm on right now. So it's comparing the velocity from the current price back to the closing price back here, and it's showing that this is a pretty high velocity move. Like I said, I don't know if this really has a lot of functionality on velocity, but I just want to show you that you can do it. The raw relative strength for 1 week percent change, this is precise, has a lot of use. You can see 10.89 compared to 10.89 up here. But I showed you this last week, where I think the ranking module has a lot of functionality. I'm just going to go to relative strength, and I'm going to change this to Wilder 14 weeks. And then I can quickly see where the strongest stocks are based upon Wilder relative strength. Now look at Motorola Solutions. I'm just comparing these 23. Look, this number's dropped to 23 now. Comparing these numbers right here, you can see where it was yellow and then red and then yellow again, and then it switched to green back on 322. I'm only comparing the stocks in this folder, these 23 stocks, the ones that pass the filter. So let's look at Motorola Solutions. And I know that this is a strong chart based upon these strong weekly numbers compared to the other stocks in this folder. So I'll zoom out here. These are the stocks, if you get in at the right time, where you can really make a lot of money if you can hang on, because this is such a strong chart. Where's the buy point on here? Well, there was a buy point here, and then a sell point, and then another buy point. That was flat. I don't think it turned negative here. No, it did not. And then here is a sell. This was kind of a fake out here for a couple of days, a sell-off, and now you can see the buying coming into this. As this histogram gets wider, it means the 3 and the 6 are white, spreading out, getting further apart. The moving averages here. I can show you much better if I make it full screen. Zoom in. Whoops. Sorry about that. Alternate 1. And you can see that these lines are moving further apart. The green well above the red, and as that happens, the histogram widens also. Now I'm going to go back, and let's go to the bottom of this list, to Dexcom, and compare its chart. And you can see that it's been brutal. It's up today. There's money flowing into it today, but you can see what the chart looks like. This gap down back here, you can see the money flowing today. There's accumulation going on right now. Evidently, some traders or investors think this sell-off was overdone, and there is some buying. Now, if you're patient, this may pay off for you. You can't expect a big move back up in a hurry, but this was selling climax. This is strength seen returning, confirmation of that strength. Strength seen returning, confirmation of that strength right here on the daily chart. Nothing on the weekly chart, but it has moved up from a low of around 62.34, somewhere in there, to where it currently is at 70.97. As I've been recording this, you can see that the number of stocks with money flow in, I believe it was 38 when I started this. I can't quite remember, but it's down to 19 securities where money is flowing into these sector stocks. Okay, this is dipped down to 18 securities positive now. I'm going to bring up my quick pick, and I'm going to go elsewhere. I'm going to go If you want to look at all the ETFs, there's money flow in for all of the ETFs. This goes to the ETF folder, and money flow out. But rather than looking at those, I'm just going to go into my money flow in weekly options and money flow out weekly options. Now, the way this is set up, it only accesses certain groups in HDSI, the most active CBOE and OCC options, plus a folder I have the best securities to trade. I think these came from Tasty Trade, and then most active stocks under bar chart, which I update generally every week. So I'm going to close those. I'm going to go to the money flow in, and it's updating, and sorted on raw combo. You can see that the VXX is up 23.96 today. The small cap bear 3-time Direxion is up 13.01, and so on. So there's 24 up. Let's see how many are down. 456 down for money flowing out of these stocks that have active options. So I'm just going to bring up the VXX, and you can see the huge jump here. Stopping volume the prior day right at the 18, then effort to rise yesterday, and then a gap up this morning on the news. It's pulled back a little bit from the high, but you can see how you can use these views to see the money flowing in and out of stocks that have active options, and it includes both the ETFs and the common stocks. If you just want common stocks, all you have to do is go in here and type in COM equals yes, and that cut down and just looks at common stocks. As soon as this updates, these should go away. You can see they went away, and it's just common stocks. But I don't want that. I want a complete look at the market, so I'm going to delete that row. Okay, it's updating. You can see that the ETFs are back also. You can also just limit it to ETFs in those particular groups. Okay, this just recalculated, just updated. The 20-year Treasury Bull 3 times Direxion is at the top. You can see that this turned positive 4 days ago on the crossover. 0 is always a crossover day, and the VPOC 5 days. Let's just look at this. You can see the huge move in here over the past several days. Here's your crossover day right here. And the volume point of control crossed over a day earlier, and it's made a massive move. I'm going to use my alternate A key, bring up the annotation tools. I'm going to click on these two right here. I'll just take it from the close on this crossover day to where it currently is. And looking down here, you can see where the cursor is. This is a 15% move in 4 days. But this was signaled by the 3-6 crossover and the volume point of control crossover. You have to look for these things all the time. I don't look as closely as I should, but the tools are here. That's the point, if you want to put the time in. I'm going to clear the annotations, get rid of that line, and go back here. Let's see what's on top here on the Wilder. You can see it was all red in here, and then it went yellow, indicating a change, green, yellow, and then solid green since the 5th of July, or the week that ended the 5th of July. That's 614 right here. This week right here is where it started outperforming. Now, remember, we're only outperforming the stocks that are transferred from the warehouse window into the ranking module. It's 99. Now, if I were to compare it to everything in the database, it wouldn't have a 99. I mean, it would fall somewhere else. So the much more precise way to see when there's changes is to look at these columns. Days since the 3 crossed the 6, the days since the VPOC crossover. This is what I base most of my information on. This right here, plus relative strength in a stronger market. Or I look at relative strength also, which you can see right here is very poor in here, but the market's changing. There's only one stock with a decent relative strength in here. All these other relative strengths very poor, but when you're getting market rotation, this is where you want to look right here, not at relative strength. Okay, I'm going to show you one more thing, and then I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm in all securities. I'm going to bring up my quick pick, money flow in on all securities. Use the demand view. There's 149 of these. And you can see the industries. I haven't rebuilt these for 30 minutes, but they're all down today. But if I want to see which stock is the strongest in a group of stocks that are moving up on a very bad day, I'm just going to transfer this to the ranking module. And I'm going to go up to the top. You get there by clicking on your home key, and it says LTH is the strongest stock based upon the Wilder 14 week. So if I click back through to the warehouse, you can see that it's up today, trading at 73.6% of its daily range on heavy volume. It gapped down minus 272, but it must be coming back. But let's take a look at the chart. The point is, you can just work this backwards. Rather than working from the warehouse module, you can work from the ranking module. I know that this is one of the stronger charts in here, so I will just bring it up on the weekly and the daily. You can see it gapped up yesterday, probably on earnings, and then it gapped down today. There is your gap down, and now it's coming back. So this is a very strong stock today in a terrible market. Okay, I'm going to go into Thinkorswim, LTH. I already put the symbol in. You can see that earnings came out yesterday, consequently the gap up, the run up to 23.89, then the pullback, the gap down today, money flowing into it now. I know there's money flowing into it because it came up through my money flow in screen. Now the news, you go to live news, you click on the top story. It says the total revenue increased 18.9 over the prior year. Net income increased by 35.8 million over the prior year. Now this is not an expensive stock. And it's a beautiful daily chart. Let's look at the weekly chart. News of its growth started coming in here. This is a stock to watch, to consider buying with that strong earnings growth and being so strong in a weak market. It's LTH is the symbol. Okay, let's look at one more. I know nothing about this stock, AACT. I'm going to click through. And what is it? It's up only a nickel today, but it's trading at 100% of its daily range. I know nothing. Oh, it's an acquisition, a SPAC. I'm not going to look at it. We already looked at Motorola. It continues in here as a very strong chart. How about WKME? Where is it trading today? Out of the 182 stocks, it's up 11%, trading at 75% of its daily range on above average volume. Application software trades 626,000 shares. Lots of buyout. When you see this, don't worry about this. It means they're bought out and they're automatically taken out of the database when the buyout comes to fruition. Juniper Networks. Now this has been red all along, and it went from red to yellow to green this week. I think this is a buyout also, though. Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it is. So you'll see a few of those. They're automatically taken care of at the culmination of the buyout. Okay, let's look at Merit Medical Systems. You can see that it's red, yellow, green, and I'll end on this one. Where did it turn green? 6-7. That's 5-3. 621. Right here was a week where it went from yellow to green, and it's moved up since then. Let's see where it was back here at week 5-3. Okay. Well, it was red and then it went to yellow. You can see as it started moving up here. Red on 5-3. This is the week of 426, and then 5-3 this week right here. It went from red to yellow, and then it started gaining momentum over that time period, and you can see that reflected in the weekly chart. Okay, that's it. I've gone a little longer than I wanted to, but I just wanted to show you these money flow scans intraday. If you're at your computer, they work very well, and then you can use them in conjunction with the ranking module too. Now I work with a 32-inch monitor, so you need some monitor space, and I don't have this on the highest setting that I use because I want you to be able to read the symbols when you watch the video, but I even use more screen space than I'm showing here. Thank you for listening. Have a good weekend and protect your capital. The markets, we're starting to get a little buying coming back in. Let's just look at this. You can see that the AD has bottomed here and is turning up, and we're getting some green bars right here, but there's a long way to go to fill this.